We have lots of crazy conversations, but this time you're invited. You're listening to your favorite mother-daughter duo, the Crozier Girls. Yes, I can.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yay. We're getting so good at this. Hello. I feel like it's been so long.
It's been so long. I feel like we do need to tell our listeners that the last two episodes, we basically recorded back to back because of just scheduling conflicts that you and I had. And so it's been 2 weeks since we've actually spoken on a call with video, you know?
Yeah. Did you see the Marco I sent you like 3 minutes ago?
About the Christmas decorations? It's so good. It's so good. I'm glad you're watching again because when you send me Marco's, I never know what Gilmore Girls clip I'm going to be receiving. And it's a delight.
All thanks to my friends. Whenever I have a friend come, they log into their Disney Plus, and then it lasts about 3 weeks before they're like, we noticed that you're not in the US, and so we're kicking you off. That happened with Alexandra, and then Adelia came and she logged into her Disney Plus, and I can watch Gilmore Girls, but it will probably kick me off in a few weeks. So,
well, I don't know if Claire or Erin has Disney Plus, but maybe when we get there, you can log in with theirs.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, since we last talked, you have become a full-fledged realtor. Real estate agent? What's the difference? Is there a difference between the two?
There actually is a difference. So if you are a member of a real estate board, like National Association of Realtors, or there's a few others, then you can put the trademark realtor by your name. If you are not, then you're just a real estate agent. And so the broker that I'm with requires that you be a member of a board. So I have joined that. And so, yeah, I am a realtor.
Oh, so you get to put the trademark next to your name. That's fancy.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. There's just been a lot of onboarding and just setting up accounts with so many different things.
I have to call you out on something related to that.
Okay.
That the listeners need to hear this. It's interesting.
Okay,
so
you can tell, but then I have to also back up with more details.
Okay, we'll see how you defend yourself. So I get an email from Mom, I guess last week, and it's an email with her bio for, I don't know, was that for the website or something?
Website.
Okay,
yeah.
Her realtor bio, and she's like, hey, can you proofread this? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I'm reading through it and I'm like, wow, this is really good. Not that you're not a good writer, but I was like, this doesn't sound like Mom. And I literally had the thought, I was like, if this was anyone else, I would ask if they use AI, but surely Mom didn't use AI. Like, surely she didn't. So I send you back my notes, and then I get another email and it says, by the way, I used AI. So the listeners need to know that Melanie is a hypocrite.
So I thought, all right, I'm going to see what all the hype's about. I'm going to put this in. The first bio that it shot out at me was terrible. So I put more details in there. I basically wrote the bio in the description, and what it spit out was
right. That's what you have to do.
What I wrote. So there was a few lines that I didn't change, but for the most part, once it shot out the second one, after I put in a lot more details, I basically went and changed every line to say what I wanted it to say. So it gave me the framework, but I definitely changed it a lot. So that's not just AI spit that out for me. I very much changed a lot of it. So
right. And that's how a lot of people use AI. Like a lot of people use it to help give you an outline for something or give you ideas, not to verbatim copy. Because if you copy verbatim AI, like it usually doesn't sound good. So,
well, I will say it was helpful. I'm glad that it did not start trying to tell me to slit my wrist or do all these other crazy things that AI apparently is telling people to do, and people are believing it and doing it. I mean, it's just preposterous. So.
Okay. Well, you didn't have to take it to that extreme.
Well, listen,
but
that's the.
Why don't we just blow it up?
Just blow it all up. Just blow everything up. that's where we're at in society.
Oh man.
Inside family joke there. So only our family will understand that. So anyway, but we have so much to talk about. I can't believe. I mean, we have not had a phone conversation in 2 weeks, you and me. We've sent some Marco Polos. We've sent some text messages, but it's the longest we've ever gone without like talking on the phone or FaceTiming.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even know where to start,
I have a list.
Honestly.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's see. On the lines of my real estate, my big career that I'm starting, I have my own little website, MelanieCrozier.com.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, MelanieCrozier.com. So all the pod listeners can go check it out. And did you know that that's called a vanity domain? Like when you...
I did. Okay. Yes, it's a vanity URL. It's a URL that sounds good and fun.
Yeah. So...
And yes.
So that's what it is. It's MelanieCrozier.com. And like you said, we have a really good last name because no one else has.
Yeah. Wait, so what are these featured properties on your website?
Those are just properties that people within Coldwell Banker have listed. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to send you emails to your email, like for fun, randomly during the workday. You'll be like, oh, I got an email from a client. Nope, it's just me.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so MelanieCrozier.com. So remember one time you and I had this whole discussion about vanity plates, and now there's vanity domains? It's like, it's crazy. You know, I never put that on the pod, that vanity plate discussion we had.
Oh,
because it was just too long. But I have been keeping a list of vanity plates when I see them. And some of the ones I've seen are Drewski, Drewski. So I'm assuming that's someone's last name, like Drewski, or maybe their last name is Drew. And it's like...
Yeah, their first name is Drew, and they just like put that on a vanity plate. That is not a last name.
I saw one this week that said THXGOD. Thanks, God.
Thanks, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
absolutely.
God. But my favorite was this one. This was hilarious. NEVQUIT. Nev quit. Like never quit, never quit. But listen.
Nev quit.
Listen. It was a probably 65-year-old man driving a RAV.
Oh my gosh.
Small size SUV. I thought it was going to be, young kid, like never quit, never quit,
Yeah, like a 28-year-old who goes to the gym all the time and like posts gym selfies. Yeah.
But no, it wasn't. So
the older people need to remember to never quit.
Never quit. Never quit. Never quit, people. So anyway, there you have it. Vanity domains and vanity plates. So, okay, well, that was a complete nonsensical conversation.
Yeah, I don't even know how we got there.
From my website.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I had a friend come visit me for a little bit, and it was really fun. I had a funny thing to share from her first night here in my apartment. Or one of her first nights. So this is my friend Adelia, who's known me since freshman year of high school, and we're about to go to bed, and of course I have Doll with me, obviously, and and Adelia listens to every episode of the podcast, and I was like, Adelia, you know who Doll is, right? Like, you knew who she was. And Adelia goes, oh, of course I know Doll. She goes, I remember the first time I met her, and it was like a jump scare. She was like, oh, jump scare. So
poor
I thought
Adelia.
that was funny.
Because by the time you met Adelia, Doll had no hair. So she was no longer a cute little doll. Sweet doll. Oh. I feel like when you get your own place, I may just go ahead and give you the brand new doll, and you can put her on a shelf so people can see the difference. Because I know you don't want to put Doll in a shadow box. So
no, she's obviously never going in a shadow box. Right. But yeah, I'll just have the new doll in my room somewhere, and then when people are like, "What's that?" I'll be like, "Oh, look over there. That's what she used to look like."
Right. That's good. That's funny. Well, you and Adelia also had a big moment when you were walking around Zagreb.
Oh, yes. We were, oh my goodness, it was like a whole thing. Okay, so we were walking around Zagreb one morning, and we were in like the upper town part where there's a little overlook, and it's just like a more touristy part. Like if you live in Zagreb, you're not going up there ever. So we're up there. There's some other just random people milling about who are clearly foreigners, and we see these two guys. One of them has a news camera, and one of them has a microphone. And we're kind of standing off to the side joking. I was like, oh, I want to be on the news. And then we turn around and they're right there up on us. And I was like, oh, no, I actually didn't mean that. And so they come up and they're like, can we ask you guys some questions? And we're like, sure. And also like, keep in mind, we just like hiked up to the top of the city and it's hot and we're sweating. So I'm like, great. I know I look fantastic right now. Anyway, so he starts asking us questions. Well, first he asks us, where are you guys from? What are your names? And then he starts asking us questions about, I guess, as tourists, how we're finding the prices of things here in Zagreb. And I knew what he was getting at. Like, I know from Croatians that I've talked to before that prices have risen in the past few years. Like, I'm well aware of that. But as someone from the U.S., the prices in Zagreb are great. Right. So, I mean, we were honest. We were like, honestly, the prices are great here. And he was like, oh, really? And he kept asking us very targeted questions. He was like, what about groceries? What about this? What about this? And then he was like, what are you guys used to paying? Yeah. And then Adelia brought up like the price of coffee, and she'd only been in Zagreb for like 3 days at this point. So he was mostly asking me questions, and then he like asked Adelia. And so anyway, so then we like wrap up and we start to walk away. Well, I guess after the interview, like after the camera was down, he explained to us, you know, prices have gone up, and we were like, yeah, we figured, but you know, compared to the US, it's pretty good. And Adelia even brought up, she was like, discount grocery stores in the US, like Aldi, are modeled after European grocery stores. She was like, our discount grocery stores are the same price as your normal grocery stores. So, yeah, so then we're about to walk away, and then I asked him, like, what news station will this be on? So he told us, and then we kind of were busy the rest of the day and, like, got back like later in the afternoon, and like I was working, and like I had kind of tried to look up where to find this news station and was having a hard time. But anyways, we ended up finding it, and we ended up logging on like the exact time that our segment was airing. And yeah, we were on the news. So that's the story.
What is it called? What's the news called?
It's called RTL Direct.
Yes. You guys were on RTL Direct evening news. Yeah. So I thought that was hilarious. So maybe we can put the clip on our, can we somehow load that up onto our Crozier Girls Instagram if people want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Give the people what they want, and I'm sure they want to see that. So anyway, sure. I loved that story. I thought that was so fun.
It was fun. Well, you guys had a big day. You moved McKinney into his house.
We had such a good day. So McKinney, you know how he always lands on his feet. I mean, this kid is definitely...
Oh, yeah, he's the luckiest kid ever. Something awful could happen and, like, it ends up perfect for him.
Yes, it's true. I don't know where that comes from. Dad and I are not like that. Uncle David, probably somehow he has gotten that from Uncle David. But part of it is just his personality, right? And so he met these guys, and they were like, hey, we're going to be in this house next year. Do you want to join us? So he's in this great house in Dahlonega for school. It's huge. The kitchen is massive. McKinney has his own bedroom, and his rent is like $450 a month.
That's insane.
That's insane. It's wild. It is insane. Now, the only bad part, and it's not even that bad, is it's about 8 minutes outside of campus. So he'll have to drive, but
it's worth it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal at all. So anyway, he had like planned everything out in his room. He had gone by there earlier in the summer to measure so that we could get him a bed and get whatever other stuff he wanted. And so we got it all done, and it all worked out beautifully.
Including his projector
That's what he was most excited about. Was he came home after he'd been to see his room for the first time, and he told Dad, he was like, "Hey, we need to get a 2x6. I think that's what it's called, 2x6, and a really long, like 10 feet, because I've got a piece of furniture on one side and then some shelving on the other, and I want to stretch this board to sit on the piece of furniture and the shelving." So that I can put our little projector up there and project, onto the big blank white wall in front of his bed. So he said, so I can lay in my bed and watch the Warriors when the season starts. So, we planned this out. Him and Dad went and got the board this week. He spray painted it to match. We got it up there. It fit perfectly. He got the projector set up, and it's working. He was so excited. It's pretty amazing. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So we got his bed, and
his room is so cute. I love it.
You know how McKinney, he's like, well, we're all kind of similar in this. He loves to organize stuff. Mm-hmm. So we had bought some under the bed. His bed's kind of like a platform bed. There's no box spring. It's like you just put the mattress right on the bed. And then there's not much room between the floor and the bottom of the bed. But we had measured and bought this under the bed storage drawers that they have wheels on them. And so you roll them out. And so he was like, these are so cool. I'm going to put this, this, and this in them. And we put his laundry hamper together. He said, I want a 2-sided so that I could put my gross work clothes on one side and my other dirty clothes on the other. So smart. And it has a lid that closes. So we got that put together, and he was like, this is so awesome. It's exactly what, everything was so awesome. This is so great. So,
oh yeah, sure. I feel like people don't expect that of McKinney, but he is more organized than I am, honestly.
Yeah. Or Micah.
Like he is so
organized of the three of my children. Yeah.
Well, I would say Micah's the least organized.
Micah's definitely the least.
For sure.
When Micah was little, remember how he used to just keep trash? Like
yes, he would keep like little bottles of syrup from Cracker Barrel or like sticks from the woods.
He would find a rusty nail and he would put it in a jar in his room. He would have bottle caps and just trash, pieces of paper, like nothing, just little pieces of paper. Yeah. Micah's
but they were treasures to him. They were treasures.
And then you guys would go off to camp, and I would clean your rooms out and throw all that junk away. So, yeah, that's the mom trick. File that away.
I don't remember ever like coming back from a week away and being like, oh, where's this?
That's because you guys have so much. You didn't recognize when toys disappeared. Toys and stuffed animals. The stuffed animals was the main thing that I was like taking away.
I had like 3 stuffed animals growing up total in all of my 18 growing up years. So you are not allowed to say that we had. Micah had a ton of stuffed animals. Micah had so many. Okay, wait, hold on. I have a gripe. When me and McKinney were little, you never bought us stuffed animals. You would be like, stuffed animals are stupid. Like, you guys aren't going to have stuffed animals in your bed. And then Micah, the favorite little child, had like 40 of them.
Okay, stop.
I just have to say that.
First of all, we do not have favorites. You know this. There are no favorite children in our family. You may have moments where you're my favorite, but just in the grand scheme of thing, there are no favorites. Number 2.
Wait, we have moments? Am I your favorite right now in this moment?
I don't have a favorite right now. Y'all are pretty equal. Number 2, I didn't buy those stuffed animals for Micah. Well, I did buy that moose that one year for Christmas. Remember his moose, Jeff? The giant moose?
Yes.
He wanted
of course I remember Jeff.
So bad. It was, anyway.
I know, that was cute.
It was so cute. He used to carry that giant moose
I
around.
know.
I'm sure we have.
So you can't say no to Micah, though. You just can't say no to him when he was a little kid.
I
didn't
buy him stuffed animals. Everyone else, and then y'all would go over to Gaga's and rummage through all her American Greetings junk and come home with stupidest stuffed animals. So those things were just trashed when y'all were at camp. I would go in there. Anything I thought he wouldn't notice, I would throw away. He had all those Super Mario plushies and Minecraft plushies. I didn't buy him that stuff. People gave him those. So anyway, yeah. I'm not sure how we got on that, but
anyway. I don't either.
We're not not going to get to anything we actually want to talk about.
Oh, man.
But
okay, wait,
great.
Speaking of
McKinney's room, getting it set up, everything was great. He was so excited.
Good.
We went to lunch. There's a really good ramen place, like right off the square in Dahlonega. And so we went and got lunch, and then he headed to Walmart to get a few things, and we headed home. So anyway,
nice.
I expect that we will get a video or a Marco Polo tonight with a tour of where everything is.
Everything is set up. Yep.
Everything's unpacked, and he loves to show us, and it's great. Those are some of my favorite videos. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Micah and just the boys, I would like to, well, first I have a question for you, and then I have to share with you a text conversation I had with Micah this week. Do you know anything? You don't know anything about this?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. My question for you, Mom,
I'm scared.
is
I'm scared.
Do you know what aura is?
Oh, I do know what aura is, and he did tell me about this conversation. Yes.
Well, how would you explain aura? How would you explain it?
Well, here's the first time I heard this phrase, this term used is some of Micah's friends were staying here with us over spring break, and the boys said to your dad, Mr. Robbie, you have serious aura. And I was like, what? What is aura? And so then they explained it to me, and it's basically my understanding is you walk into a room and your presence is felt in a strong way. Like, wow, that guy his coolness factor is way up there. Not even just coolness, but like he's fierce. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's just altogether awesome. I don't know. How did Micah
see? That's a really good way of describing it. Micah was a little bit more confusing. I thought I knew what aura was, and then I asked Micah, and I think I just didn't realize what the kids were meaning these days when they say aura. So I texted him because Adelia and I were talking about it, and she was like, what does it even mean? And I was like, I'll text my brother who knows all the cool hip terms. So I asked him, do you know what aura means? And he goes, yes. I don't know how to explain it. And you know how when Micah texts, he'll send, well, first of all, it's all lowercase.
Yes, there's no punctuation.
And he'll send, there's no punctuation. And he'll send like one text at a time.
Right.
Like he won't type more than a sentence in one text. So it's like you have to wait till he finishes sending like 7 texts in a row before he's like done.
Well, we've joked about this before because he'll text mom. And then I'm sitting there like, what? Waiting. And then eventually I'll get the next text like, do we have any SpaghettiOs or whatever, you know?
SpaghettiOs.
I mean, I don't know. That was just, but it always starts with mom. And then nothing. Right. And then here comes the next. So, yeah, for you, he probably said yes. And then there was nothing. And then it's hard to explain.
I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, well, you have to explain it. And he said, basically, if you are nonchalant or like you do something cool or you are cool. And then I asked him, can you lose aura? And he said, yes, you can if you do something stupid or like embarrassing. Like if you trip in public, that's a loss of aura. So then I asked, do I have aura? And he says, no, not really. And then, wait, hold on, because remember, we're text by text. Then he goes, well, you do sometimes. You do in the mornings. And I was like, in the mornings? What does that mean?
He's saying, I totally know where he's going.
And he goes, yeah, because you're like scary, but silent. And then he said, I don't know, but normally you are too energetic to have aura. So that was an interesting thing to hear because I've never thought I was energetic, but okay.
That is interesting.
And then he goes, this is my favorite part. He goes, it's like a different type of aura. You have your own aura. And I feel like that was him saying, you actually have no aura at all, but you have your own kind of aura. You know, that was his way of like pacifying it. It's like when someone says like, oh, do you like this top? And you're like, oh, I like it for you, but I would never wear it.
Right.
That was Micah saying, you know, you have your own aura.
That is funny. Yeah.
And then he says that he and McKinney both agree that the person that they know who has the most aura is Carlos from church.
Oh, yes. We had this conversation. We talked about it. Mr. Carlos.
Okay, got it.
Who teaches a driving class, but for anyone that goes to our church, any of our pod listeners that know Mr. Carlos, he is our pastor's security bodyguard. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apparently he's so cool.
I could see that. He does have aura. He has some serious aura for sure. So anyway, interesting.
Well, there's also something apparently called aura farming.
Yes, this is
so
where
when
you
farm
try to
aura
do stuff to get aura. Yes, I've heard this.
Yes.
I've heard the children talking about this for sure. So
yeah. Anyways, I learned something new.
The example that Mike and I talked about of losing aura would be the CEO at the Coldplay concert that has been
yes,
that's
we had to talk about that.
Major loss of aura.
Oh yeah,
major loss of aura.
It is major loss of aura. Can we talk about the Coldplay scandal for a minute? Because here's something about me that I think everyone should know. I love when the entire country unites around something stupid. Like, I love it. I think it's hilarious. I love when the country unites around the Olympics, but not just the Olympics. I love all the memes that come out of the Olympics. Right. I love when there's one meme or one popular TV show and every single person in the country is talking about it or posting about it. So honestly, I am loving this era that is happening right now with the Coldplay scandal. Obviously, it's awful, should not have happened, but all the memes that are coming out, I think it's so funny.
I have a slightly different perspective in that the season of life that I'm in, and having walked through really hard things with some of my friends and their marriages, I found it very sad. And even all the jokes and all the memes, families were destroyed over this, and it makes me mad and sad and all of that. So while I do get that some of them are, humorous, and I do get what you're saying, like I do think it's funny when everybody is, because it's rare, right, that the country is all on board with something as a whole.
Yes.
Right. Like when you were talking about the Olympics, I immediately thought about all the memes about Snoop Dogg. I mean, Snoop Dogg has never been more popular than he was in the Olympics. And he's like 65 years old. So
it was awesome.
Right. So anyway, I mean, it's tragic. It's unfortunate. And obviously the big point, the thing to point out is our pastor says all the time, sin is never safe and it is never secret. And it will be revealed. So anyway, but I do hear what you're saying. So well done, America, for everybody agreeing that adultery is wrong. So
yes. Yeah. Hey, I mean, that's a good thing to agree on.
That's right. It is. It sure is.
But yes, I agree with you, obviously, that it is very sad. But yeah,
here we
it's
are.
Also,
You want to say it so bad. It's also funny. I know you want to say
it's fun. I'm sorry. It's the actual thing itself of like that they had an affair is awful, and it's so sad, and I feel so awful for those families. However, that's happening every day. What doesn't happen every day is that it's caught on camera at a Coldplay concert, and that two people react the way that they did to having the camera on them. That's what's a little humorous.
Right.
I will say.
And let's just be honest. If they had just played it off,
I know, then nothing would have.
That clip, she had her camera on that thing in case, I don't know why, but
I actually watched an interview. Yeah, I watched an interview actually with her, the girl who released the clip, and she was like, "Yeah, I was just videoing it in case I got on camera," which valid, understand. And they asked her, they were like, "Do you feel guilty for releasing this clip?" And she was like, "Honestly, I don't. There were 50,000 people at that concert. It would have gotten out one way or the other if I hadn't released it." She was like, "I don't necessarily feel guilty, and I don't."
I mean, it's not her fault that these people were doing things they shouldn't have been doing and together when they shouldn't have been. So, but it was funny because Dad and I went to a Braves game. That happened last week. And then Dad and Micah and I and one of Micah's friends went to a Braves game on Saturday. And Dad and I were on the Jumbotron.
You were? Oh my gosh.
Not during the kiss. Not during
Why
the
didn't you
kiss
tell
cam.
me this?
I don't know, because we haven't talked. That's why.
But did y'all reenact the
No,
Coldplay
it was during
scene?
the 7th inning stretch, and we had our arms around each other, and we were singing "Take Me Out to the Ballpark." ball game, and Mr. Bodie was there, and he immediately texted your dad. And then a friend that you remember Mr. J and Angela Lawson from Hubert? Yeah. I think they had a son your age. Anyway, they texted Dad. Jay texted Dad and was like, "We just saw you guys on the Jumbotron at the Braves game." So
that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. That's so fun. Did anyone get it on video?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
No, because it's whatever. Like, I don't,
right.
I
know.
You're not sitting there videoing the screen in case you get on. We weren't trying,
right.
We weren't aura farming. We were not aura farming.
And see, good things can happen even when you're not aura farming, right. Everyone.
I feel like that was
embrace your own aura, like Micah says.
Right.
Just everyone has their own aura.
That's right. So anyway, well, that was an unexpected conversation.
True.
How do we even get on that? It's so weird when we stop.
I don't know.
How did we get there? There are so many throughout the week. There are so many comments people make to me about what we talk about on this podcast.
Really?
And I don't write them down, and it's unfortunate because I'd like to tell you, but anyway.
Yeah.
I did have a mom say to me, "Thank you guys so much for your conversations this week about mother-daughter relationships." Aww. But then specifically, and this all came from our high point and low point, is why we do it, but specifically when you were talking about kids going off to college and how to, how to find a church and how to get involved in community in your, local area. And so one of the moms was just like, that was so good. And I know that my child's been listening to the podcast. And so I'm so thankful, that you guys had that conversation. So
good. That's so sweet. I'm so glad to hear that.
There's a lot of girls that listen to this podcast, and so I think it'll be helpful to them.
I'm always here if any high school, almost college-age girls want to talk.
That's sweet.
You're so welcome to reach out. Yeah. So
you know how to find her.
Well, you do.
All you girls, y'all know how to use social media. You can track down, pretty much anything. Y'all are all super sleuths these days.
I was gonna say, based like what you were saying, how people make comments to us all the time about stuff we talk about on the podcast. I had this conversation with Adelia where we were talking about something and she was like, "Rebecca, it's so weird because I know this about you, but only because of the podcast, not because you've told me yourself." And then there would be a few times that she'd be like, "I don't remember. Do I know this from the podcast?" It's so funny when my friends are listening, and then I also am obviously talking to them outside the podcast, and I forget what I've told them or what I just assume that they know because of the podcast. It's so funny.
Same exact thing has been happening to me. It's weird. People will come up to me at church and say something, and I'm like, "Did I tell you that?" And then I realize, it's the podcast. So it's kind of weird that these are literally the conversations that you and I would be having, and we're putting them out there for everyone. And so people are learning stuff about us that maybe normally they wouldn't know. So it's definitely been an interesting dynamic. So for sure.
It's funny because I am never more myself than when I'm with when I'm with the four of you guys, with my immediate family. I don't care how much you're my best friend in the whole world. When I'm with my family, that's just how it is with your family.
Right.
And so I feel like I am my true authentic self when I'm on this podcast, and it's so scary because who's listening?
I've had several friends say to me, "We had no idea. We've never seen that side of Rebecca before." And
because you're not privy to the amazing conversations that I have with my mom all the time.
Right.
So, and now you are.
And you tend to be a lot more guarded until people really get to know you, and then you let down some walls and you become what we know you to be all the time. And so here people are getting to see you as you, like, your true self without that guard or those walls up, and it's so interesting.
That's so scary, and now I'm not speaking for the rest of the podcast.
No, so okay, well, it's gonna be a short one. Actually, we've already been talking 46 minutes. It's so unbelievable. So crazy.
I feel like we haven't even talked about anything at all.
I have the most giant list of stuff that I was going to talk to you about, and I haven't even. Okay, well, first of all, there's really a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, pet peeve is the ineptitude of people in a roundabout.
I think you should just leave it at ineptitude of people.
That's true. That would pretty much cover it all, wouldn't it?
Cover everything. But
Rebecca, we've got essentially 3 new roundabouts very close to our home here. And so it's gotten a lot worse since you've been gone. I'm telling you, twice last week. First of all, someone stopped in the roundabout. Stopped.
What?
To let someone go out.
Oh my gosh, that's not how it works, people.
It works. And then this is always a fan favorite. You're sitting there, there's no cars coming, and the car in front of you stops. It's like, do you see a stop sign at a roundabout? No, those are yields. Those are yields. It's a big triangle. It is not is a stop sign an octagon or a hexagon? Anyway, it's not
a pentagon, shape. Mom.
Pentagon, whatever. It's not that shape. It is a triangle, and it says the word yield. Do you know the difference between yield and stop? Clearly, most of the people around here do not. It blows my mind. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Usually, if there are no cars in sight coming, I don't even yield. I just keep going.
You shouldn't, because there's nothing for you to yield to. You really are only even yielding if there's a car there. If there's no car, you go.
Just go.
Go. Yeah. That drives me crazy. But this week, twice, people stopped in. They were in the circle and they stopped.
Did you honk?
Yes, I honked.
I hope you honked. Good.
And I didn't do the cute beep beep, move it along. I did the like I laid on it.
Good. They deserved that.
It's unbelievable. I hope people that are listening to this, if you don't know how to drive in a roundabout, please, this is the public service announcement. I'm sure that you guys can go on AI and put in whatever you want to put in and learn how to drive in a roundabout. Roundabouts are brilliant. It's not the roundabout's fault.
Absolutely. That's right. Stop blaming the roundabouts. Stop blaming the roundabouts. They've done nothing wrong.
They keep traffic moving when people know how to use them. Anyway, okay. So that's my roundabout rant. It's rough,
Yeah, it's rough out there.
The other thing I needed to tell you was one thing is happening in the suburban paradise that is unbelievably fascinating.
Okay, I'm so scared.
Okay, so we have this neighbor, for the pod listeners, we have this one neighbor, he's across the street from us. His name is Mr. Beaver. We love Mr. Beaver. Mm-hmm.
He's iconic. He has aura to the max.
100%.
Wait, he has amazing aura.
He has amazing aura. There's no one that has more aura than Mr. Beaver. Mr. Beaver, for years, I was like, I know this man was in the military. And so one day I did ask him. He's in the Navy. He walks his dog the same amount of times every day, the same time every day. And when he walks with a mission. And he's not going to stop and be chatty with you. He has his earbuds in. He's listening to his 70s and 80s rock music, which I'm here for. My personal favorite is when he's in his lower driveway washing his cars and he has this big boom box out there and he's playing his music. It's great.
It's a vibe.
It is a whole vibe. But Mr. Beaver has mellowed a lot over the years. We used to have some slight disagreements.
Some arguments.
With Mr. Beaver.
Over sprinklers and such. Just suburban paradise things.
Yes, nothing major. But we listen, we're friends now. Mr. Beaver's so kind. He comes over and helps if we need help with anything. Anyway, he's great.
I do have to say, when I was a kid, like, because you guys would get into arguments, like, Mr. Beaver was my Boo Radley. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, Mr. Beaver,
Except he comes out of his house, so.
I mean, so true.
Yeah.
But still.
So anyway, Mr. Beaver's mellowed so much over the years, and one day this week, Mr. Beaver drove in with a golf cart on a trailer that he was pulling. And so I thought, okay, well, Mr. Beaver's bought a golf cart. He has a four-wheeler. When you guys were younger, if it would snow, he always got his four-wheeler out. He would take y'all on rides in the snow. That was always a big hit. Mm-hmm. So now he's got a golf cart. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. Well, the next night, I see the 7-year-old up the street driving Mr. Beaver's golf cart. But the best part is Mr. Aura-filled Beaver was riding on the back of the golf cart.
It doesn't even make any sense.
gets weirder. So Dennis is driving the golf cart. His 4-year-old sister's in the seat beside him. Mr. Beaver's on the back. Like, what is going on? What kind of alternate universe are we living in right now? Then the next day, I see Dennis just help himself walk right into Mr. Beaver's basement. Next thing I know, here comes the golf cart up the street. Dennis is driving. There's all these kids.
Something is going on.
Something is going on.
Mr. Beaver and Dennis are in cahoots.
Something is going on. All these kids are congregating down here at his basement, going in and out. The kids that moved in the cul-de-sac, I don't think you've met them yet. The guys on the scooters that I told you about several weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
I think we talked about on the pod. Those kids are down here with Dennis going in and out of Mr. Beaver's house. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, something is happening because that is so unlike Mr. Beaver
to
open
Mr.
up
Beaver.
His house to children.
Right, yes. To anyone.
That's interesting.
He's very kind of keeps to himself. So anyway, it's very interesting what's happening.
You should, if you see them congregating over there one day, you should go over and be like, hey guys,
what's going on?
What's going on?
Is there a party? I love parties.
Yeah.
Block party. So anyway, that's been like the interesting thing in the neighborhood this week. And not only that, but they ride the golf cart late at night. I mean, we're talking 9:30 at night. They're riding this golf cart all over the neighborhood. And then you can hear them. You can hear the tires squeal. They're slamming brakes on. Dennis is beeping the horn. I mean, all kinds of noise. Make all kinds of noise. It's very entertaining. Very entertaining to watch. So
that's so funny.
I hope nobody gets hurt.
What in the world?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. So anyway, we'll see. It's something very interesting has been happening with all that. So there's that. The other story I have to tell you is I was at Aldi on Thursday and I put my groceries in my car and I was backing out and I pulled up to the top of the aisle to stop to look to see if I could pull out, and there is a lady on the ground face first. So I was immediately, and I had seen her 2 seconds earlier standing up and now she's face first. So I just throw my car in park and I get out and I was like, oh my goodness, are you okay? She was conscious, so that was good. But immediately I saw she had blood like flowing off her face.
Oh my gosh.
So my car's in the middle of this aisle. Another lady comes up and she was like, okay, I'll stay with her. Go move your car and then we'll, whatever. So I went and moved my car. Me and this other lady are sitting here. We'd gotten some towels, rags, and it looked like her glasses had, when she fell face first. So basically what happened, those concrete barrier block things that are at the top of a parking space so you don't pull up too far?
Yeah.
I think she tripped over that and just fell face first. She was an older lady, and so her glasses had cut into the bridge of her nose, so she's bleeding from there. Something had happened with her lips and her teeth, so she's bleeding from her mouth. I mean, it looked bad. There was blood everywhere. So she's sitting there, and the other lady was like, let's get her up and maybe get her to sit in her car. I was like, I'm not moving this lady. I don't think we need to move her.
Yeah.
We don't know how hurt she is. And so we were just asking her, can we call somebody for you? And she said, no, I don't. There is no one. I live by myself. I said, do you have a neighbor, a friend we could call? She said, no, there's no one. So I was so sad. And me and this other lady kept looking at each other, and neither one of us were going to leave her until we knew she was okay. And she did not want us to call the paramedics. She was very against that. She said, no, I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. You don't need to call the paramedics. And so then the ladies from Pop Shelf come out, the workers, and they've got first aid kit, and one lady starts wiping her blood up, and she wasn't wearing gloves. And I just wanted to say, sweetie, you need to put gloves on. Like, you've got to protect yourself. But I didn't, because she was already in there doing it anyway. But they called the Pop Shelf workers called the paramedics, and so they got there so fast in 5 minutes. And we told her, listen, they need to at the very least just help you get up, because none of us really feel comfortable helping you get up. And so they got there really quickly. They helped her get up, and She sat on the stretcher while they just checked her out, made sure she was okay. We told her, you don't have to go with them. You know, no one's going to force you to go with them. And anyway, so she was fine. The paramedics took care of her. And at the end of the day, I think she was fine. But it was like, whew, my heart was just pounding for several hours after I got home. So anyway, but the cool thing was while I was sitting there, she's leaning up against my knee because she's on the ground, right? I said, lean back against me. And I was holding an umbrella over her because it's hot and she was on asphalt. I mean, it was so hot.
That's awful.
And so I just said, look at all these kind people, because several people had come up at that point trying to help. Do you need Kleenex? Do you need another umbrella? Here's a bottle of water. Like, just really kind people.
Yeah.
And I just said, look at all these kind people. There's still kind people in the world. And so it was just really sweet to see people from lots of different backgrounds, to help this sweet lady. So anyway. So, yeah.
That's so sweet. That's so sad, though.
It is sad. I know. I hope that she has someone that's looking after her. So, anyway. Well, that's kind of some of the crazy stories I had for you this week on my list.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Mm-hmm. Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
That poor old lady.
I know. I did have my MRI this week on my foot.
Oh, yeah.
And I did have some thoughts on that. First of all, I've never had an MRI before. And I'm about to lay down on the stretcher, and she says, here's some earplugs. You might need, go ahead and put the earplugs in. And I was like, earplugs? Why do I need earplugs? She said, it gets kind of loud, the machine.
Yeah.
So I was so confused. And so I put these earplugs in, and it slides you in there. Next thing I know, it sounded like a jackhammer going off, and it was crazy. I had no idea. It's not at all what I expected. And they kept asking, how did you get hurt? How did you get hurt? Like 4 people. I wanted to say, what does it matter? Just take the pictures.
Yeah, so true.
Like, why do you care how I got hurt? Just take the pictures. And anyway.
Yeah. Also, that's a hard question to answer because you've just had this problem for so long.
I don't know how I got hurt, but alas, the results of the MRI definitely have some torn tendons in the side of my foot. And do you remember when we climbed Stone Mountain? It's been about 12 years ago. And do you remember what happened when we were coming down?
When you broke your ankle, or you twisted your ankle
really
sprained
bad.
Your ankle.
And the MRI showed a damage from a prior sprain, is what it said. So that has to be it, because it was that foot, and I've never...
From 12 years ago? You haven't sprained it since then?
No. But once the damage is done, your foot gets no blood flow, so it can't really heal.
Well, it can't heal if you're walking 4 miles a day on it like you do, Mom. So, yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I haven't done that in 2 weeks. Actually, 3.
Okay, but in the past 12 years, you've done it all the time. So
yeah, but it wasn't hurting. So, anyway.
That's up...
The bottom line is, here's what they're going to do. When I get back from Croatia, I'm going to have probably this injection called platelet-rich plasma, PRP.
Ooh, platelet-rich.
I know.
Sounds cool.
It's kind of like Franken-science, honestly. They take blood out of your arm. They put it in some machine and spin it like a salad spinner, except really, really, really fast. And somehow I don't know exactly what it does, but then they inject that into the area, so into the side of my foot. And it's the platelets from my blood will get in there and actually help the tendons and the ligaments to heal themselves. So...
Wow, I have never heard of that. That's so cool.
Yeah, you should Google it. It's actually really cool. Now, the bad news is that apparently it's very painful. So I just told the doctor, I was like, look, I'm going to pass out. I'm just telling you right now. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so he said, it happens all the time. Obviously you've got to have a driver anyway. And then it's painful for about a week because they're injecting all this stuff in there, this fluid into your foot. So I'll have to be on a boot for about 2 weeks after that. And he said it's going to be painful for about a week. But
and that's the only option? That's just what they do?
The other option that wouldn't be as bad is just a cortisone shot, like a steroid shot. And that would help with the pain, but it's not going to help to heal it. And so it could last for 6 months, and then in 6 months I could be in pain again. And so he just said he feels like this is going to be the best option to actually help to heal it. So, and if this doesn't work and it's still very painful, then I may have to have surgery, but I think this is going to work. And the doctor does too. He said he feels like I'm a really good candidate. I'm healthy and good shape and blah, blah. So anyway, so that'll be when I get back.
Man, that's so crazy. Well, I'm glad that you don't have to do it before you come, obviously.
Yeah. No, I told him I'm definitely not doing it before I come. So anyway, so it's just been a really busy time around here with all the doctor's appointments. So, okay, a couple more things that I have decided I want to tell you about is I am going to try really hard to bring back not getting your nails done and make it popular again, because it has gotten so expensive. Rebecca, the last time I got a gel manicure and a pedicure was $72. That's ridiculous. And not only that, but do they actually have set prices? Because when I ask how much do I owe, it's always, how about 72?
Yeah. Like, how about this? Well, what if I say no? What if I say I don't want to pay that?
How about 45, which is what it was 2 years ago.
It was not 45 2 years ago.
I know, but I'm just saying it's always so random. And it was $63 the time before. So you're telling me they went up $9 for the same thing?
How about this number? How about $150?
And that's not with a tip.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I went back and had the gel taken off, and now my nails are just painted. And so I'm going to try to just paint them myself. We'll see. I feel like it's an addiction. I'm kind of addicted to having it done, and I'm really going to have to work hard to stop. So.
I know. I kind of am too. I like your idea, but I also love getting my nails done.
I know, but also you aren't having to pay anywhere near as much when you get back here. You're not going to want to be paying
Mom, it's the same. It's the same here. For a gel manicure, last time I went was $45. So before that, when I got both my nails and my toes done, it was like $65. So, and that's not in euros. That's in US dollars. It was cheaper. It's the same here. Nope. It's the same.
Well, I feel like, this is all up in the air, but when you get back, if you decide to live around here, you and I need to get the gel kit and learn how to do it for each other.
That's true. Because when I was in college, I had a friend, shout out Olivia, who learned how to do that. And she would do my nails for free and I would make her dinner. I went a few times to get them done, but she would do my nails for free with gel and they were amazing. And she was so good at it. And low key, I miss that.
Yes.
So
we can figure that out. But I mean, if you're moving somewhere else, then we're not going to do that. Obviously, it's not worth it. But if you're going to stay around here, we can learn how to do our own nails.
It might be worth it.
And we can do each other's nails. So
we could do other people's too. Start a little business.
A little side gig.
Side gig. Yeah.
Not a bad idea. Well, this has been a fun convo.
I know. It's weird wearing these headphones now because I can't really hear myself. Like I'm muffled to myself, so I feel like I don't know how I sound and it's scary. Yeah,
but you sound good. You wouldn't believe the number of people that have said to me, Rebecca has a great podcast voice. Rebecca has...
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Someone said to me, Rebecca has the best laugh. When she just starts laughing, it's the cutest laugh. Yeah. So...
That's crazy because I can't listen to the podcast because I don't want to hear my own voice. So I appreciate the compliments.
Yes. I think it's time. I think it's time to dive into our highs and lows.
Okay, you go first.
Oh, of course. Okay, I would say my high point, and this was really from last week, but we didn't record the pod, so I wanted to say it for this week. On Thursday, my sweet, sweet friend from high school, Carrie, was driving through from work, and she met me at Juke and Jive ice cream shop for just a little meetup, and we had the best time. We ate ice cream, we caught up, and so that was just fun. It was just a random Thursday afternoon, and yeah, it was great.
It's so fun.
She wanted to update on you and the boys and just all the things, so anyway, that was fun. I'm so
Sweet.
grateful for her friendship. Lots of years of friendship. Because I've been out of high school for lots of years. Right. And then I would say, okay, my low point is, I had that cyst removed on my wrist. Mm-hmm. So basically, my wrist looked like this when I went in for surgery. Perfectly good wrist. And this is what I have now. This
it looks so bad.
Nasty looking. It looks like I have leprosy. It's so disgusting. I went back to the doctor about it this week, and she said it's scar tissue that has built up, and you have to just force it and move it, and it's painful. I have to mash on the scar tissue to try to break it up. And she said it will loosen up, but if it's not any better in 4 weeks, come back and see us.
Oh my goodness.
So that's been really frustrating. It kind of just started on Tuesday of this week. It was so painful to touch. She said you have hypersensitivity in your hand from the nerves, and you just have to you've got to desensitize it. And so I'm basically just constantly mashing around. I mean, look at the lump. You see how it...
Yeah.
So that's annoying and frustrating. And I mean, again, I traded a perfectly good looking wrist for this, and I'm real frustrated about it. So anyway, hopefully that'll get better. That's my low point. I'm so ready to have all my ailments behind me.
I know. You have so much going on.
I know. My friend this week said she and I were on Ailment Island. She said, I feel like we're on Ailment Island. There's just so many ailments. And I said, yes, I guess that's middle age for you. So anyway,
I'm sorry.
That's it. That's all I've got this week. How about you?
I think my high point was last weekend going to Adelia and I took just a weekend trip to Zadar, which is another town on the coast that I hadn't been to yet. And it was just so fun, and just fun walking around the town and going to the beach, and it was just really fun. And it was fun to hang out with
beautiful
her.
Sunset.
Yes. So Zadar is known for its sunset. There's a famous quote by Alfred Hitchcock who said something like there's no sunset as beautiful as a sunset in Zadar, or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's insane. They also have this thing called the sea organ, which basically it's just this part of the sea that comes up and washes up and makes this sound with I don't know how it was made. I don't know the science behind it, but it basically plays music, and it's really, really cool. So
very cool.
And people just sit there and just watch the sunset and
listen to the sea organ.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I can't wait. That's where we're going when we come, right?
Yes.
So that'll be so fun to see that. I love that. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay.
Yep.
Do you have a low point? No.
Okay. Well, the pod listeners remember that I had to buy new AirPods.
Yes.
Right? Okay. It was a whole thing. Rebecca was upset about it. So basically, I tried to use my AirPods for the first time with my work laptop when Adelia was here, because normally I don't have to use them because I'm alone in my apartment, but Adelia was here, and so I'm, on meetings and stuff, whatever. So I have the newest AirPod version. I was like, you know what? If I have to get new AirPods, I'm getting the newest version, whatever. AirPods 4, they just came out this year. So apparently AirPods 4 is not compatible with Microsoft Teams. My work laptop is not an Apple laptop, which whatever, that usually doesn't matter. My old AirPods worked perfectly with it, and with Zoom meetings, the new AirPods work fine. It's just Microsoft Teams, and that is where the majority of my meetings, except for one a day, are on Microsoft Teams. It's where I do all of my work. And I was like, why is this not working? It's basically they connect, but the sound is like someone's whispering. And I was like, maybe I should have the sound turned up on either device, whatever, but the Zoom meeting was perfectly fine. So then I started to Google, and I came upon all of these forums and threads where people are like, yeah, the new AirPods 4, they're not compatible with Microsoft Teams. This is a thing. Even Apple like released a statement saying like, yeah, like I don't know, it's like a fault in it, something like that. I know. And I spent so much money on these. So I'm like, okay. So I go back to the Apple store today and I'm like, can I return these? And they were like, they're opened. My Apple has a policy that you can't return something once it's open, which I guess makes sense because these AirPods have connected to my phone. They're now called Rebecca's AirPods, you know, so I don't know. I guess that
whatever,
makes sense.
they can
but I was
that
like,
out. That's
I know. Yeah, it was all these like guys in there that were like probably around my age, and they were all looking at me like I was dumb. They were like, "Oh, like you can't return them." And I was like, "Can I I don't usually go Karen with customer service stuff, but I was upset. I was like, I can't use these for like the main thing I need to use them for, and I spent money on them. So I was like, can I return them if I can say that they're faulty? And the guy looked at me and he was like, yeah, I guess. Like, are they faulty? And I was like, yes, they are, because I have a remote job. I do all my work on Microsoft Teams, and AirPods 4 are not compatible with Microsoft Teams. And he was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, this is a problem. Like, you can't, what? Why are you just acting like this is fine? So anyways, he was like, yes. So basically what I can do is I can put in a report for you. I'll take the AirPods. I'll put in a report for you with our technician. When they come in on Monday, they'll see the report and they'll have to test the AirPods. If they agree that they're faulty with what you said they're faulty with, then you can return them and get your money back. And I was like, okay, I hope that they agree with me, because yeah, they're faulty. I don't want these AirPods. I'd rather buy an old version. I was going to go in and like buy an old version or whatever. Anyways, so that was annoying today and just upsetting. So pray that the technician agrees, I guess, that my AirPods were faulty with Microsoft Teams.
That is a good low point. Well done. That's something to really be upset about. So
I know.
Good job. Wow.
I know. Poor Adelia had to like, just, if she was in my apartment when I was on a meeting, she was listening to every word of the meeting, because I could not hear what people were saying. It was so frustrating.
And the headphones you're wearing don't work with your laptop either?
Well, they do, but like, I just feel...
Oh, because you have to have your camera on.
Yeah,
so you don't want
and
people
I
to see you with them on. I get that.
We both look
and
stupid. Some people wear headphones, but I just feel I don't want to.
Okay.
They're not my vibe.
Okay.
I feel like I'm losing aura, you know?
You're losing aura from the headphones. Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
That. Well, that's super frustrating, and I feel like they need to tell people, hey, just so you know, full disclosure, these are not going to be compatible with Microsoft Teams. That's terrible. Apple, do better. So do better, Apple.
Yep.
So
true.
Anyway. Well, all right. Well, I think that wraps up a very long episode of Crozier Girls podcast. I hope I can get this thing down to an hour, but man, we're going to see.
Yep.
All right. I love you, hon.
Talk to you later. Love you.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.